It was primarily the PCOS and the acne which kind of drove me to want to have some more support. And I've always been inclined to want to do things naturally and learn more about a natural way of doing it rather than a chemical way of doing things. And I really wasn't getting any kind of help with general medicine. So I would see a GP for mainly for my acne. I'd been put on antibiotics for years and told that was what would clear it up, and it never helped. Nothing ever helped. No acne treatments, no medications, nothing. And so I Googled it and then did a bit of reading and a bit of research, and I rang and I spoke to Bea initially for about half an hour, and I kind of said, these are my issues, and I'm looking for a natural way to try and treat PCOS, but also primarily at some point I'd like to have children. And I know that if I don't have a menstrual cycle, then I'm not ovulating. So that was a goal around that as well. And so arranged for the initial consult. And, even the fact that the consult was 4 hours long was just so refreshing in comparison to a 10-minute GP appointment. Just very warm and helpful and a bit like a wraparound service. So just really accessible as well. So yeah, I just found it really easy. I work with Rebecca and Charlotte Char, and they're so easy to work with. It's so nice having contact with Char every week, and then going in and doing investigations and talking to Rebecca about stuff. I think the fact that they look at me as a whole person, rather than trying to treat or consider things as a separate entity. So, instead of having a dermatologist or a gynecologist that only looks at one part of your body and then they don't communicate with each other, I had these two people who were looking at me as a whole person and making the links and explaining to me the connection between my gut and my PCOS and my skin, that it was just so helpful. I think the most valuable thing is just how much I've learned about myself throughout this whole process. I think probably the biggest one was when I got my first menstrual cycle, which happened to be on Christmas Day. I also had one 6 weeks following that, and I've never had, I haven't had 2 consecutive menstrual cycles that close together since I was a teenager. I have a period in the month where I will have, a mild, I guess what I would now class for me as mild to moderate period of acne, but then the rest of the month my skin is really clear and I feel so much more confident and able to leave the house with no makeup on and meet with friends with no makeup on, and just investigating all the investigations that I've had done that I would just never have been able to get done through a GP. Absolutely recommend MFM to everybody. Don't give up and think that the chronic condition that you've got is forever, because actually what I have learned is that it's not the case and it can be reversed. And I think if you could access the right support, which I don't really see myself ever going back.